Welcome back to the MapleGRC for CyberSecure Canada implementation. This is the third video. So, in the first video, we looked at how to set up an account on MapleGRC. If you haven't watched it yet, please go check out the 10-minute video first. It'll help guide you on where to start. The second video covered context, users, assets, and roles and responsibilities. That was the second video. This video is about policy and vendor management. We'll see how we can use the information we've added to Maple to generate a custom policy, as well as quickly manage vendors. So, to get started, I'm heading back to the MapleGRC UI. So you sign back in, and once you're in, you should also see that the context, users, assets, and roles are all set up. And now we're moving into the policy section. Let's start with the policy. I recommend making sure the company's address and name are entered correctly. To do that, go to the Organization section on the left side of the menu here, under Assessments and Reports, and then click on Profile. Once you click there, you should see this little star. Click on it, and it will autofill the address and do the same for the name of the company. Maple usually pulls this information from your website, so if you can't find it, or if the address or name isn't accurate, just click Edit and update it. We need this because it will be included in the policy, so this is the first step before we actually move on to the policy. Next, once you go to the policy section, you'll see several topics. These are topics required for cybersecurity compliance. If you're working on ISO or NIST 800, you'll see different topics, but here these are the topics, and each one has a section called Edit Policy and Document. In our case, we need to start with Edit Policy. And when we go to the policy, we'll find the Modular Design Policy, where each section has a box where we can add content as well as requirements. And for the system to help us, what we'll do is look at all the information we've added so far in the system. And then it'll generate customized content for us to help us out. To get started with the policies. So, it's not just a template where the policy might not be relevant to us. Now, it's actually relevant to the standard and to the organization. Titles like, do you have physicians and nurses, or do you have engineers and salespeople? And what tools do you use? Do you use cloud tools like Office 365 and Google Workspace, or do you use on-premises email systems, and so on? So, based on that information, you'll see it quickly generates it for us. Once we run it and wait for a minute or so, you'll see it says, refresh the page to see the content. So once I refresh, I have two options. First, I can click on this little star next to each policy and select Autofill. And you'll see, this is a computer security management policy, outlines. Blah, blah, blah. And I can do this one by one, read and save each, or I can click Autofill All. So Fill All will let us push all the content at once. It's good to generate a policy for the first time, and you'll see the policy is ready for you. You can review it, make whatever changes you need, and then click Save. But remember, if you're working with CyberSecurity Canada, this policy refers to the standard and generates it accordingly. Once that's done, you need to click on Generate Policy Document, and what that does is it will turn it into a PDF. So it's ready to manage, share with others, get approved, and be prepared for the auditor later on as well. So once I click on that, you can see here I can either keep editing or go to the Policy Manager. I'm going to go to the Policy Manager, and here we'll see version 1. And now we have 3 steps. First is to preview it, so go ahead and read it. If I click here, I'll be able to see the policy. This is the policy name. Company name is visible, no ID or version yet. We'll do this together. I see the address. It's official now. So the next step is to officially review it. Usually, this is done by the ISMS implementer. You could also be a business user, so the person reviewing it and the person approving it could be the same individual. But remember, the approver needs to be someone with authority in the organization, someone who can officially say, "This is our organization's policy." So I'm going to click on Viewer and review it myself. I could send myself an email, but I don't need to, and I'll receive an email now anyway. Also, I can do it from here. Alright, so I'll just do it from here. I'll review the policy right away, and I'm going to read it. Alright, I like it and I'm going to accept it. Great. The second step is done. The last step is to approve. So I'm going to send it to the CEO. Demo.staff user is the CEO, and I'm going to click to send the notification email, and that's it. Now what happens is, if we look at the CEO's email here, we've just received an email. As you can see, and you know, IA from Queensville sent you this to approve the review policy. Once I click here, I'll see the policy. And yeah, alright, I like it. It's already been reviewed by my implementer, so I'm going to click Approve and Activate. Requested date should be a year or less, and starting from today or tomorrow, it's going to say safe. That's it. Now we have an active policy, so if I go here and refresh this page, we finally have an active policy. If I click Preview to see how it looks, it's amazing. You can see here who reviewed it, who approved it, and what the policy looks like. Now, the last thing, we need to see this internally. So if I added the staff earlier, if I click on Circulate, everyone will get an email to sign it. So you'll get the assigned report here. So everyone actually receives it and, reviews it as well. And not only that, we can generate a video training. So I'm going to click on that. It will create a video explaining the policy to all our staff. This is important from an audit perspective because the auditor will need to see proof that you've communicated your policy to all your users. And they also need to see, proof that the users have accepted it as well. So they can do this in two ways. They receive an email once you click Circulate, and they'll sign that. Yes, I read it. And also, reviewing a video about it is really useful because then they can show more details on that. And now I have the policy here ready for me again. Make sure, to have a customized policy. Do this for every single policy. The only difference between cyber conduct and risk is that cyber conduct is for everyone in the company, whereas risk management, information security management, and others are just for the IT people, including consultants helping you or the IT service provider assisting you. So you don't need to give these to anyone who's not part of the cyber or IT side of the organization. The Cyber Code of Conduct has to be signed by every single person in the company, including external consultants, if they have access to your systems and are part of the scope. As for the video tip, I'm not going to repeat it, you can go through it yourself. But now you see it's in progress because we've completed one. Assuming you've completed everything, it'll take us to vendor management, so I'm going to assume it's all done. But remember, in your case, make sure to go through the policies first. But just for this video, I'm going to click that the policy is done. And once you're done, it unlocks a bunch of things, including vendor assessment. Vendor assessment is quick. These are the vendors we had for our tools. We have to make sure. All of them need to have a specific certification, like ISO or SOC 2. So I can come here and upload these files, and usually Maple will upload them for you as well. Right now it doesn't show up because this is a demo, but in your environment, you should see it within a day. Their third-party certificate is required, and you can also, if we can't find it, we can click here and send them an email asking for their certification. That's one of the requirements at this stage. So by doing this, I've managed, two things. And since we're halfway through the implementation, I'll go to the audit page and click on Analyzer. Because I'm curious to see where we are right now. How much of the implementation is done just by having one policy, adding a few users, and adding the tools? So I'm going to click on Analyzer, and now the system will review all my evidence and give us an initial audit of our environment. That usually takes a couple of minutes because it checks everything that's been done. It's a data analyzer, and we'll see the results of this in the next video. So far, we've created the context, the assets, the rules and responsibilities, and we have policies. I can always go back to it in this policy section here. And we've also activated one. We should activate the rest, and we'll see you in the next video.